Before we get into this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Lets me know that you're interested in what I'm saying. Anyways, this is one of my favorite times of the year. It's early spring, and I'm out in the yard looking around for herbs. What I found so far is I have a bunch of this. This is chives, and they're growing all over the yard. Along with the chives, there's some purple dead nettle. I find it very interesting to see what grows as a weed. Most exciting part was when I ran into this. This is lesser celadine. It prefers a moist, loamy, neutral to alkaline soil and full center shade. It's a very common and invasive weed. Growing in the shade encourages the formation of bubbles at the leaf bases. You don't really want to introduce this into your garden because it's wild and it chokes everything out. This is a polymorphic species, which means it exists in several distinct forms of shapes, and there's a number of named forms selected for their ornamental value. Yes, they do sell it for gardens, but like I said, it's an invasive weed. The leaves are ovate, almost horseshoe shaped. It grows very low to the ground. Anyways, the ones that they sell for ornamental value are normally less invasive than the wild species. The plant flowers early in the year when there are few pollinating insects. And because of this, the seed is not freely produced. The plant produces small tubers along with baubles, and they can produce a new plant. We'll dig up a couple here so that you can see what the tubers look like. You see how small these plants really are? It grows well along the woodland edges and deeper shade of the woodlands, where it often forms a dense carpet. This is out in my front yard where it's bright sun most of the time. The flowers don't open in dull weather or on sunny days until like 9 o'clock in the morning. And unfortunately, at 5, they're closed. It almost sounds like banker hours to me. Lesser celandine inhibits the growth of nearby plants, especially things like legumes. If you're going to grow it in your garden, then in the spring start it in a cold frame. This species really doesn't need any help from us, but you can divide it early in the spring. Its native range is all over the world. I mean, it grows in temperate Asia, places like Cyprus, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Turkey, the Russian Federation, Georgia, and the southern parts of places like Denmark, Finland, all the way over to France, through Switzerland, Germany. You know, you name it, and it's probably growing there. I found tons of these chives. I'm not sure what kind of chives. They could be garlic or onion. It's very small bulbs at the end of them. But, anyways, I came out to look at the lesser celadine early this morning. Then I had to come back out this afternoon and look them over when they started opening up. You can eat parts of this, like the leaves and the root, but generally it's used like a condiment. Look how pretty the flowers are. I can't get over how shiny they are. They've got an iridescence to the leaves that I'm sure my camera didn't pick up. I really was quite amazed by the shininess of these leaves. I was trying to get a good picture of it so that you could see it. The young leaves can be eaten in the spring raw or even cooked as a potter. The first leaves in the spring make an excellent salad, so I'm told. The stalks and buds can be used like spinach, whilst the blanched stems can also be eaten. But the leaves turn poisonous as the fruit matures. The bulbils can be cooked and used as a vegetable. From the size of these, it would take a lot to make a meal. These bulbils, which is what they're called, but they're tubers, these are formed at the leaf axils and also at the roots. And the flower buds make a good substitute for capers if you ever use those. The plant is harvested when flowering in March and April and usually dried for later use. The dried root can be made into an ointment, and it's sometimes applied directly to the skin for bleeding wounds and gums. It can be used for swollen joints, warts, scratches, and even hemorrhoids. Believe it or not, the leaves make an effective tooth cleanser. I'm not sure how you'd use them for that. If you know, can you put it in the comments? Overdosing can cause stomach and intestinal irritation as well as kidney damage. So be very careful with what you're using it for. And of course, if you're pregnant, you probably shouldn't be using this plant because it's toxic. It doesn't have like a milky sap or anything to it. The stem is hollow. Once it's flowered and the seeds are ripening, it's really toxic. I really just can't get over how brightly colored they are and how shiny they are. I was trying so hard to pick it up in the camera, but with no success. I've never personally used this plant before, so I don't know if it'll work for anything in particular. If you've used this plant, I'd appreciate it if you'd put it in the comments what you've used it for and how you used it. Did you make it into an ointment or did you eat it? Honestly, if you look around your yard, you'll find a lot of these things out here, and you can eat almost everything out here. Just do your research first. I don't know how nutritious lesser celandine is, but it seems to be growing everywhere around this house. I haven't looked out in the woods yet to see what's out there, but I'm eager to do so. It's been really rainy and cold, and I haven't been able to make it out there yet. So please, let me know what you think of this plant. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're into it. Thank you.